Even though I'm washed up and broken down, I still get out a lot. These days I work with the field testing program at Patagonia, and we put a lot of time and thought and effort into the redesign of our Ascensionist packs. Here's the 40 liter, here's the 30 liter. I prefer the 30 liter because I'm kind of a little guy and I'm kind of a lot lazy. I don't like to carry too much. One of the improvements we made was with the body fabric. The fabric is still lightweight. It's now more durable, more abrasion resistant. And one of the things that I like about it is that it has some rigidity to it, some structure. So it basically stays open when you're trying to pack it. That's also enhanced by this foam that we put on the bottom. It gives it a little bit more structure. It also increases abrasion resistance. So all those tiny little holes you used to get in the bottom of your pack, that won't happen now. And when you're loading up, it just kind of stays open a little bit easier. You know, sometimes these little things are kind of nice. You know, you don't have to battle with packing it. You drop your stuff in because it stays open. You put the metal close to your back, of course, and then you put the puffy stuff on the outside. Keep the dense stuff close to your back. Put everything in, cinch it up, head off into the hills. We also moved the pack closure to here. It just seems like a lot of times you're packing from this side, so it's just a small move, but it makes it a little more convenient. You just pull it shut. This is now a cam lock, and so it locks down. It won't open on its own. So if you don't want to use this back strap, you can remove it completely because this is secure now. You could do it a couple different ways. You could lock it down here if you want to. You can also move this back strap. This whole thing is really modular. You can move it up to here. Like let's say, for example, let's say you're overloaded. You got a bunch of stuff. You can pack your pack up real tall, keep it flat the way you pack, and you need to put the rope here under the lid. You can have this strap moved to here and then just clip it onto one of the daisy chains inside to make a nice secure rope holder. Another part of the modularity of the the modularity of the pack is that we have a frame sheet in here. It's a high density foam that gives it some support, but you can remove it if you don't want to use it, or if you want to take it out at, say, a bivvy as part of your system. It also lends support to the back. For winter climbing, we've got a couple of different ice axe attachment options. We've got the more traditional style ice axe loops. If you've got the newfangled fancy modern tools, which usually don't have a head on them, we have these little T-bars, and they also work for the traditional style ice axes. Just thread them through the hole there. Use the Velcro to attach the shafts. And of course, if you're rock climbing in the summer and not using an ice axe, you can remove this Velcro. But here's your winter climbing setup. Our designers really thought this through and made sure everything is super burly. Even the daisy chains on the back, they're sewn into the seams, so they're not going to rip out. The all-important hull loop, which, you know, it can be a big problem if this thing blows, but it's not, there's no way. I mean, this thing goes like halfway down the pack. The suspension system is actually part of the skeleton of the pack. These pieces of webbing go halfway up. Nothing on here is built in a way that you're just going to pick it up and it's going to blow out. Everything's reinforced. Everything's thought through. The foam on the shoulder straps is now a little bit stiffer. We kind of found a sweet spot between this being rigid enough to where it doesn't dig in, but not so soft that it rolls on you. On the 30 liter, the waist belt is really minimal because you're usually not carrying that much in a 30 liter, and it's removable. And so on the 40 liter, since it's a bigger pack and therefore you might be carrying heavier loads, we made the waist belt fixed on here, but it's also modular. So if you want to wear it as just a webbing belt, you can slide these foam pods off. But on these pods, well, there's not only a gear loop, but they'll stay in place pretty well. But if you find the exact spot where you want them to be on your hips, you can remove the buckles and thread the webbing in between these loops to secure them in the exact spot where you want them to be. Also on the 40 liter, Because it's a bigger pack, we put compression straps on the side so you can cinch it down to make the load real nice and tight. You can also slide things in there. You can loosen them up and maybe you put a jacket in there or a ground pad or whatever you might need. Like sometimes when I'm doing a climb where, say, I'm climbing up one face but descending the other way, and so I have to do the whole climb with my pack on, I don't really care that much about how the pack is on the hike. I care more about how the pack is on the climb. So I'll try to carry a small pack like a 30 liter, but sometimes you've got more stuff than that. And so I'll use this system using gear that I already have, like these slings, to lash things on to the pack. And yeah, I look like a traveling junk show, but nothing new, I guess. But I can like stuff my belay park in here. Or maybe I got the rope under the lid and the tail ends of the rope are in here. And then once all that stuff is on my body and I'm doing the climb, then the pack that I'm climbing with has practically nothing in it. I care much more about the climb than I do about the hike. We built these packs with the alpine ethos in mind. Minimalism, versatility, they're durable. You can customize them the way you want. We basically kept things simple because when you're alpine climbing, there's already a million reasons to bail. Your pack shouldn't be one of them.